great educational tool for our girls. And like I said, it's going to be a way that they can get involved and invested in their communities. So this is really going to teach them not only the beautification, it's going to teach them environmental impact, obviously teamwork in a sense of, like I said, not only among their Girl Scout troops, but in the larger city of Richardson and the larger area as well. And again, sense of community. This is going to create a legacy that will have an impact that is truly going to benefit future generations. And will also be a roadmap for so many other communities that I heard someone mention City of Addison. You know, in a couple years, people are going to be talking about what a bold and courageous move the council made in the city of Richardson. Right now, this is a new initiative that Girl Scouts has taken. Like I said, we've been known for a very long time for our community service, and so we really are hoping to be viral on the change to take action projects where people really think in a bigger light and look at their more global communities. We've also seen over the last few years, or over the last few generations, that girls have lost the love of nature and that they don't go out as much. They're obviously a little bit more connected to their televisions than maybe to the local environment and the communities at large. So this is really also going to help us to allow our girls to develop a love of nature, because if we don't start teaching this love of nature now, we are never going to have that chance again, and our environment is going to continue to see the impact. So I want to thank you for taking this bold and courageous move to helping us provide this opportunity for our girls to help us plant the seeds that are going to grow the leaders of tomorrow through our Tree the Town initiative. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
If I might take liberty to suggest that you also spend freely when you're when a Girl Scout shows up at your door, buy lots of these.
And as a thank you, if you do have a moment, I do have some cookies just to thank you. We are also the premier business entrepreneurial program for girls, so teaching those business principles, and they're going to be looking for some opportunities to hopefully use some of that cookie money that they earned. So Cookie Boost Sale started this weekend, so please feel free to go and support our girls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Mayor, our next speaker is Cody Elrich.
Hello, Cody Elrich, 2700 Waterview Parkway, number 4431. All right, last week Councilman Omar told me about the Treat the Town proposal. I wanted to come here today and voice my support for this noble initiative. As a UT Dallas student, I can tell you that UT Dallas is always looking for new ways to strengthen community ties and support our city. One of the things that really attracts me to this project is that, unlike a lot of service projects, Treat the Town is going to be a project that spans several months as opposed to one day. I'm a president of my fraternity, Chi Phi fraternity, and there are always a number of hours all of our members have to do each semester. So we're always eager to find new opportunities to go out and serve our community. So Treat the Town, it's a great cause. It's going to build community, and it's going to have a tremendous impact on our environment. I'm excited to take part in it, and thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cody.
Our next speaker is called.
I'm Carl Youngberg, president of Waterview Preservation, 309 North Waterview Drive. We're very excited about this. As you may know, driving at high speeds on Waterview Drive, that you've noticed that we have a lot of plantings there, and we are very interested in the theory, and we've discussed it and researched it a lot, that trees slow people down. And it's a very interesting concept that still is being researched, but a lot of the studies that they're doing all across the country is the effect of trees as kind of a narrowing effect that go on, especially when we have a median as we do on Waterview Drive. And it's interesting, the history of Waterview Drive began in the early 60s when it was being developed. The residents actually got out and planted much of what's there or traded with the work in the city. They worked in the greenhouse, and they traded with the city to put those plantings in. And then the area north of the creek got done much later in the 80s, but it's already is the history of that. The trees, we would welcome them in two areas, one of which would be in the medians, but also Phil and Michelle just lost a beautiful tree earlier or last year, and So we're beginning to see some where trees have to come out and need to go back in again. So we would welcome it from that standpoint. From an interesting statistic, which we haven't really addressed here tonight, is the impact, the financial impact that it would have on the price of a home and trees. And it's interesting, the U.S. Forest Service suggests that a $200,000 home with 3 mature trees, now that's only half of the cost of the home that you bought, David Morgan, but anyway. So,
that's my renovation.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, he said it was a fixer-upper, so we didn't know. Anyway, but it's interesting. A $200,000 home with 3 mature trees, they estimate the value of those trees is $20,000, which is a pretty significant piece of change when you talk about it. So I think from every standpoint, this is win-win for everybody in Dallas and Richardson. And we look at Dallas at Beltline, which I've often traveled for years, and we look at the trees that were planted really by one person. And Amir and I have talked about this gentleman, and he pioneered that. And what a difference just from Beltline, from Coit on over going west, those trees are making in that community. And it does slow you down because it kind of gives a pause to it. So it's win-win, and we're delighted to be part of it, and we look forward to it moving along.
Thank you, Carol.
The next speaker is Destiny Herndon De La Rosa.
Destiny Herndon De La Rosa, 112 in Wildwood Lane. And just wanted to get up here, first time ever, speaking for y'all, to let y'all know that I'm very excited about this project. I think it's such a great idea, and as someone who, kind of bags on the city a lot, this should give me credibility, right? I'm really excited. My son's excited to get out there and plant some trees. I think this is an amazing opportunity to contribute to the legacy of Richardson. And when I think about driving down Campbell or wherever and being able to say that, years ago, we planted that and we did that, I think it really involves the community in a great way. And I look forward, I don't even feel like I need to encourage anybody to vote for it, because obviously if you don't, you hate the environment and you're not a Christian. So anyway, I just encourage you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
May I have Black?
Okay. Richard Ferrara.
He is here.
Mayor and members of the council, I would want to thank Amir for asking me to speak on behalf of this program, and after he asked me, I thought I would be very shrewd and write some eloquence that I would share with you. But I must admit that all of it's already been said tonight. So for the sake of brevity, I will forego that. But there is one other person that needs to be thanked in the room, and that's Bill Keffler, for allowing all of us to work together on projects like this with the staff, with the council, neighborhood associations, and so on. I think it's a very important part of our management, the way our city has grown. The one aesthetic comment I will make, having designed something like 100 buildings in the city, is I shudder to think of what Greenway Park at Campbell and Central did look like in 1980 when we broke ground on that 80 acres and there wasn't a tree standing, and what it looks like today with all the mature trees, but what it would look like today if the trees weren't there. I mean, that is really a pretty frightening thought. There are parts of our city that are urban deserts, if you will, not just the trails and the places that are easy to identify, but as this program matures, I think its impact on our city and it's focusing other communities on, gosh, I must be in Richardson, look at all the trees. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Thanks, Richard.
Appreciate it.
The next speaker is Ed Curran.
Mayor, member of the council, my name is Ed Curran, 639 Williams Way, representing the Richardson Environmental Action League. There's no need to reiterate all the positive things that have accrued to this program, as people have said. It's a marvelous program for cooperation and beneficial aspects to the environment. There are a couple of things, however, I